Mr. Radio Guy Mike Prince, welcome to another episode here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Of course, you know we try to stay on the cutting edge with news, information, and tidbits in relation to the world of HBCU sports and beyond. Today, we are fortunate to have a young man on the line with us whose stock has increased yet again. Been a hardworking young man since I've met him. And he has gone and spread his wings a little bit further. We'll let him tell his story, but we want to present to some and introduce to others none other, Brother Jasher Cox. How you doing this day, sir?
I'm doing good, Mike. Thank you for having me on your show, man. I'm delighted to talk with you today.
Well, I'm delighted to have you still remember who I am, man, that you would allow me this opportunity to speak with you, that you're moving on up.
I can never forget the guy. You know, I'm relatively new at this moment in time. It was spring of 2013, because I started with the SWAC in the summer of 2012. It was the baseball tournament out in Dallas, and there's a guy that came in and did every single baseball game of the 2012 baseball tournament from the concourse level. Didn't worry about press box, didn't worry about having a tent, but it just showed how dedicated you were not only to, the Southwestern Athletic Conference and its baseball members and covering that event, but just the black college in general. So there's no way I could forget a Mike Prince.
Well, that's awful kind of you, sir. It has been a labor of love, and moments like that, you don't know that you're making an impression, but I'm glad I made an impression. I appreciate that very much, man.
Absolutely.
Very much. Well, look, man, you have had on some traveling shoes, man. You just mentioned that you started off in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Actually, you're an Auburn graduate, correct?
I am. I'm an Auburn grad. Proud to say War Eagle. I enjoyed my time there as an undergrad. But the career officially got started. You know, I got my very first shot in athletics after the master's program there with full-time with Alabama State University. And from 2009 to 2012, I really cut my teeth and figure out some things and how the administrative portion of the athletic department works. And, I was later able to migrate to the SWAC, as you know, and spent a handful of years there in the league office, a couple of different positions, and elevated myself and got a chance to go to another mid-major conference out of Indianapolis, Indiana, in the Horizon League, and take on an associate commissioner post there before coming back to the state of Alabama and taking over as an assistant director, athletic director at Tuskegee.
And now the big news for those who might not be aware, and I'll let you present the title, sir. I don't want to steal your thunder.
Yeah, well, it's pretty simple, man. I'm delighted now to be the new director of athletics at Lincoln Memorial University, a member of the Southern Athletic Conference, just located outside of Knoxville, Tennessee, in a small town called Harrogate. It's been brought to my attention that program has been known as the D2 version of Kentucky basketball. That's how competitive they've been. They've had a couple of trips to the Final Four in men's basketball. So not a school that has football. They put all their eggs in one basket for all of their other sports, if you will. And they've been very competitive from the revenue-generating sports to the Olympic sports. So I'm extremely happy that they gave me an opportunity to oversee and lead that department. And start date is November 12th.
November 12th, and they're the rail strikers, I believe it is.
Rail splitters, yeah.
Rail splitters, okay.
Again, so the university is Lincoln Memorial University, and it's named after Abraham Lincoln.
Right.
Who apparently that was his nickname as he was before he got into the political aspect. That is the name most of his comrades gave him his nickname. So they called him a rail splitter. And that is the nickname and the mascot of the university.
Now, here's the trick question for me. What does a rail splitter look like?
A rail splitter almost looks like he's a leaner version of Paul Bunyan with an axe, if you will. That's the best way I can try to explain it.
Okay, fair enough for me, man. Fair enough for me. Well, look, you may mention you don't have football, but you have 21 athletic programs. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Well, it is a lot. And, I like to tell people when they get scared, I remind them that I worked with two different league offices that had 10 members each, and they all had 18 sports apiece. So you can do the math. Getting down to just one school simplifies it. Well, you see where I'm going with
Yes,
it. It
sir.
gives you an opportunity to really just perfect one institution as opposed to your focal point being on multiple members.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're speaking right now with Jasher Cox, the new athletic director of the Lincoln Memorial Rail Splitters. All right, there we go. The Lincoln Memorial
That's
Rail
it. You got
Splitters.
it.
I got it now. I got it. Well, look, man, you are still getting your feet wet. Your start date is November. Now, what will you be doing between now and then?
Well, by design, I think it's only fair. You don't want to leave a school in the middle of the season period. It's just not ideal. I especially didn't want to leave a team in the middle of football season, which is where we currently are. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to talk a little trash now that I'm on the way out because I won't have to deal with it. But after Tuskegee losing to arch rival Miles College last year, I want to see that revenge. So I'm not leaving until the last game of the season. I got to be there for that, Mike.
You got to be there for that, man. I know that's right. Hey, that's the competitor in you, right? I got to finish this thing. I'm going to cross these T's and dot these I's. Then I'm out the door.
Well, no, a year ago, the West Division was on the line, and Tuskegee had 2 weeks in a row to clinch, and they lost to both Central State and Miles back-to-back weeks in succession. And we're hosting in the regular season, November 9th, hosting Miles. I want both of those before I leave.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Now, look, man, you had a pretty good run at Tuskegee. What has life been like for you at Tuskegee?
It's been great. I've got I would say I would go on record to say I've got one of the best leaders one could ask for. We're a school whose athletics director is also the head football coach, as many know, Willie Slater. He gave me an opportunity to explore some things, try to bring some things into the university and its department. Sometimes it was no, you need to scale that back, but most of the time it was like, yeah, let's give that a shot. And so I'm forever grateful for that. A year ago we were able to, you've seen Tuskegee on the ESPN Watch app, or you've seen them on ESPN on occasions on linear TV years back, and video streams, but never had Tuskegee been on regionally. And when I mean regionally, in that central Alabama location, that Montgomery, Tuskegee, Auburn radius, never had they been on regionally or locally until last year. We had the CBS affiliate come to us and said, hey, we want to do your homecoming game live on TV. And so to be able to sell that opportunity and generate revenue off of that was one of the bigger things I was able to hang my hat on before leaving.
So with that, it gives you ideas and creative opportunities as you're heading out to Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah, no question about it. And it's the town is similar to where in size in terms of Tuskegee. It's extremely rural, but it's a tri-state area too. By the way, I'm not sure if you know, man. It sits on the state line of Tennessee, Kentucky, and Virginia.
Right.
So that tells you how far away I'll be migrating. But yeah, there'll be some opportunities to explore some things there at LMU. I will say that they've been doing it right for a very long time. So this is not a situation where I need to come in and just rebrand everything, because this school has been great and competitive for a while.
Very good. For those who have just joined in on us, we're speaking with the new athletic director of the Lincoln Memorial University Rail Splitters, Mr. Jasher Cox, who, by way, happens to be a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan, as I am. If you don't mind, man, just let's get off course just for a second. What is your assessment of this current Pittsburgh Steelers program?
Mike, I'm gonna tell you, man, I have a newfound respect for Mike Tomlin. He takes a beating. He's had some really good teams that underachieved at times. We can be honest about that. But after seeing how this whole Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown situation played out, this guy deserves a Nobel Peace Prize for being able to monitor those two for that long. I think behind the scenes, we had no idea what he was potentially going to trying to manage that.
Right.
And so when you see what Antonio Brown ended up turning into after the fact, we can only wonder what was it like in the locker room and keeping that mess out of the media and away from us, because we had no idea until the ending days of his career at Pittsburgh. So I've always been, and again, the record, it is what it is right now. What is it? It was 2-4, 2-3,
2-4, 2-4. But we on the climb. We on the climb. I'm on record saying 10-6.
Yeah, okay, I hear you. We're it got off to a very slow start. But what I admire about him the most is that guys get injured or they get suspended or whatever the course may be. When you lose a guy in one of those positions that we deem skilled areas, it's always next man up for him. He doesn't make any complaints or he doesn't gripe about it. And so right now you're playing a quarterback that played at Stanford University out near Birmingham, Alabama. So that tells you how far they've gotten down in the depth chart in that area, and he's been able to win a pair of games as a result.
Yes, sir. Yes, there we go. So we'll keep on the grind, and we'll keep lifting that black and gold. How about that?
Yeah, no question. We'll keep that in common. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, Jasher, as you focus in, and we know that Lincoln Memorial takes pride in basketball and all their Olympic sports, but they've really thrived in basketball. What do you see? And you said it, that they're already doing things right already. What do you see that your expertise would help even take this program even further?
Well, for one, I think to get in, I think one of the biggest mistakes we make as leaders is coming in day one and thinking we've got to change things. So my goal would be there to get there, Mike, and just do listening sessions with all the coaches, staff members within the department, and even other university officials that may not be directly affiliated with the department, but sometimes you have interactions with them, just listening to see what their concerns may be before you try to attempt to make change, if there is changes to make. Sometimes you see people doing certain things and we wonder why in the world would that person be doing it this way? And before we even ask questions and identify their rationale behind it, we make changes, but there may be a reason. So that would be my goal, to come in 30, 60, 90 days, just evaluate and be a listening ear and learn from other people. Sometimes you got people that have been there for years, man, and they know where all the bones are buried. So that would be my goal, to come in and just try to figure out where the school is and how it operates first.
Okay. Now, as far as facilities go, and I know everybody puts all the emphasis on facilities, and me personally, I believe they do serve a purpose to a degree, but the overall product is what you're putting out there on the field. But how is the university when it comes to facilities in regards as far as upgrades needed or their status quo where they are right now?
It's one of the best I've seen. And before we even get to facilities, the campus overall is pristine. It's one of the cleanest campus I've ever been on in my life, and I'm not fronting you on that. But basketball is a really nice facility. Baseball has a really nice stadium. Softball, they've got an on-campus golf hitting range, and a golf center that they actually share with the city. But it is a very nice venue. Soccer field, everything. They put a lot of money into the athletic department, and you can tell. You can also tell that the university is committed to athletics and its student athletes. So the facilities are. You would just really have to come visit us. It's one for your sight, for sure.
Well, I plan on coming to visit you for real, my friend, and as long as you all don't have the guardman to turn me around when I show up.
No, he will not. You tell him you're Mike Prince, and the guards will drop and turn around and let you in. I guarantee it.
All right, man. Look, I'm going to hold you to that, Jasher. Man, look, I want to let you know that I've always appreciated, respected the work that you've put in. I've admired you from afar, man, and I'm extremely proud that you are having this opportunity to shine, and it shows that good things still happen to good people, man. And with that being said, I want to give you some final thoughts and comments as we get ready to shut this segment down.
Well, Mike, I appreciate you. Thank you for the very kind comments. That's nice of you to say. So I really appreciate that. You know, my ending remarks as I leave from Tuskegee, and I'm prideful about Black College. And I will say this, Mike, a lot of people make fun of Black College until you need employment. So be careful with that. But again, I'm forever grateful, forever in debt for what Tuskegee gave me the opportunity to achieve there. I love that place and always will. But I will say this. There's a lot of talkers, and it's time for people to put their money where their mouth is. For years, Tuskegee has been able to get players off of its name, its history. You can convince kids to come there, be there for 4 to 5 years. You may even win the league 2 or 3 years. But those days are slowly dwindling away because that university needs help with its facilities. So let's stop talking. Let's stop texting. Let's stop emailing. And let's put your money where your mouth is and help that university upgrade its facilities. It's the winningest program in all of Black College, and it's number 2 all time in the NCAA in wins. They are 8 wins shy of having a total of 700 as a Black college. A Black college is ranked number 2 all time in wins in the NCAA Division II. So that tells you this isn't something that's happened overnight. They've been winning for years with facilities that should not be in place. Put your money where your mouth is and give the university the money it deserves so they can upgrade that program.
Well, you heard it straight from the source, ladies and gentlemen. Jasher Cox exiting Tuskegee on his way to new adventures at Lincoln Memorial. Brother, we thank you, appreciate you very much, and wish you nothing but continued success as your journey continues. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Remember to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network, and our 24-hour dial-in message line, 713-570-6736. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.